Hey, how's it going, everyone? I'm John from Crazy Gringo Cigars. Uh, Seeing me in a little different of a format here. Usually, I'm probably sure you guys are used to seeing me on YouTube Lives or Instagram Lives. But today I figured I'd try out a new form of content creation. Not for subscribers, not for followers. Really, this is just more for me to document my cigar journey. I used to have an actual notebook and a journal that I would write all my cigar notes in. Then once I went onto Instagram, that kind of served as a virtual journal. And now I'm going to kind of have a video journal. So, I never thought I would get into this world of making videos and cigar reviews. Because let's be honest, there's so many different cigar reviewers out there. We all have different palates, we all have different tastes, different likes, different preferences. So it's really hard to pick out, what certain reviewers you may align with more than others, but there's so much opinion out there, and that's how it should be. A cigar that's fantastic for me may not be a cigar that's fantastic for you, and that's perfectly fine. That's one of the things I really enjoy about the cigar community is the difference of opinions, especially when it comes to certain cigars. So without further ado, today I'm actually going to smoke a cigar that I smoked about a year and a half, 2 years ago, that was really hyped up when it was coming out. Now, take hype up what you may. Hyped up by certain. But this, had a lot of. It ended up on some top lists, and when I had it, I really wasn't that impressed with it, to be honest. I was expecting a lot more out of it, but it's had some age now, almost a year and a half of age. I got a second one, and that is the Rocky Patel 6060. So this is a 6060, like I said, Mexican San Andreas wrapper with Nicaragua filler. So it has some age on it. I'm excited to try it again and revisit it, and let's see what we get here. And that's, what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to try to smoke some, by doing these videos, I'm going to try to smoke some different cigars or revisit cigars and see, hey, do I actually not like this cigar? Maybe I do like it now. Maybe it just needed some age, or maybe cigars you've never heard of. So that's kind of my intent with making these videos. So let's take a look. And one thing you got to notice too is just the beautiful wrapper on the cigar. I think a wrapper always draws you in. This has been dry aging. I keep saying dry aging like it's a piece of meat. This has been aging in my dry box for about 2 weeks now, so those bands just come right off. I mean, it's ready to go. I really like the smell of it. It's a box press too, so it's a box press Toro. Got some deep, rich flavors on it, so I'm excited for it. So let's cut it up and see what we got here. So I'm going to use a straight cut on it. Really nice, easy draw. Very chocolatey, chocolatey. Very chocolatey right off the bat. I actually had a cigar last night, and for the first time I used a V-cut. And it was I really enjoyed that. And I always thought I was a straight cut person, but the V-cut did it for me last night. So let's see. It's hard to see the flame with the sun. It's a beautiful day here. There we go. So I don't know how I'm going to do this format. Whether I'm going to smoke some, take a little break, then revisit it, or do one long continuous video. I don't want to do a long video because I think a lot of people like that 10 to 15 minute video as a sweet spot, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah, one thing I noticed right off the bat is the flavor is much better than last time when I had it, just already. Oh, I just got something really nice on the retrohale. Not bad so far. I haven't. I have. Rocky Patel. I think everyone has a start in Rocky Patel. I remember. I think I was smoking when I first got into cigars a couple years ago, and when I lived in the Bahamas, I was smoking Rocky Patels. I got like a sampler pack, and I enjoyed those. They were basic. They were fine. Then I also had the Rocky Patel Decade, which I thought was a really good cigar. And then I was really excited for this one. Disappointed, but let's see how this one does. So this cigar has some nice spice on it. It's like a very deep dried fruit. That's how I would describe it in the first third here. And I'm sure plenty of people have reviewed this cigar. Yeah, that's a really dark, deep chocolate flavor. It's almost a little sharp too. But I think this is definitely a cigar that's benefiting from some age. So like I said, I wanted to trying to find a new avenue, take my cigar game to the next level, if you will. And so, I have some friends like Roger from Working Man Cigar, Hugo from Hugo Smokes, who have encouraged me, hey, have you thought about doing videos? Have you thought about doing actual content or reviewing cigars? I remember Roger said, people would listen to what you'd have to say. I'm like, nah, no, they wouldn't. There's so many videos out there already. Why would they watch me? So, let's see what happens. Like I said, whatever happens, happens. I'm not going to be hurt, or I'm not going to be sad either way if it doesn't work out. Yeah, it's definitely a fruity spice here in the first third. It is a fruity flavor that I'm enjoying. Um, this is a full flavor. In terms of flavor, this is a full cigar, truly. All right, well, I'm going to keep smoking this cigar, and I'll check in after the first third. So I was smoking, still in the first third here, I was smoking, and I figured this would be a good time. So you can see the burn line, little wonky there. The flavor of the cigar is fantastic, but the burn line is a little wonky. I was told by someone one time that a good cigar will correct itself, so we'll see if that happens. I'm hopeful, but the flavor is really good. I'm really enjoying this tasty cigar. All right, let me get back into smoking this thing down. We'll see how the burn line goes, and I'll check in as I get to the second third. So one thing I wanted to point out, the burn line is starting to correct itself a little bit. Let's see, there we go, focus. Starting to correct itself a little bit, but also just look at the ash. The layering on the ash is really nice. It is a beautifully constructed cigar. Also, I apologize if it's going to seem a little choppy for this first video. I'm still trying to figure out how am I going to do it. Am I going to go all the way through, then speed up certain portions, or cut it into segments? So right now I'm going to try going all the way through, smoking it, and then probably speed up some stuff there too. So I'm about halfway through the first third here, and here's some just initial thoughts. Like that burn line, I thought it was correcting. It's still a little wonky. I'm not touching it up. Don't feel like it might get it to that point though, especially with that one right there. But my initial thoughts, just smoking the cigar for the first time in 2 years, second time again in 2 years. Definitely the cigar benefited from a lot of age, and also too, the other reality is that when I first had the cigar, I was just getting into cigars, like really getting into the hobby, really doing my research, really starting to appreciate and understand cigars. So my palate wasn't fully developed, and I also fully didn't understand cigars. And everyone has that point in their cigar journey where they're brand new to it and trying different things. And I'll be honest, when I started my cigar journey, I was getting the top cigar sellers from like Neptune's or Cigars Daily, just getting anything that looked exciting to me, anything that I was drawn to. I'm like, yep, I'll try that. I'll try that. I wanted to try everything. And I'll be honest, there's some cigars I go back to, but not a lot. I still believe I'm of the mentality that the best cigar I may ever have may be the next cigar I have. So with that mentality, you got to keep trying new things and expanding the palate and see what's out there. So this cigar is definitely one that has benefited from some aging. And I think it is going to require a little bit of a touch up here. I wish I had my single lighter, but unfortunately TSA for the first time in 2 years decided to take it away from me. So, ooh, that one might have burned a little bit. And like I said, the construction is pretty damn good there. No complaints from me on the construction. One touch up, so we'll keep note of that. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet either. I don't know if I'm going to have at the end like a score or a tally. Probably just my final thoughts on what I thought about this cigar. So I'll check back in. All right, so I'm approaching the end of the first third here, I think. I've been trying to parcel it out in my mind, and I think I'm approaching the end of the first third. Um, Construction's fantastic. The burn line after my little touch up is correcting itself. Rich cigar. This is also, I felt the need to say this. This is one of those cigars that grabs when you inhale. Or inhale when you take in the smoke. It grabs the back of your neck, so you know that flavor's there, and it sticks with you. So it's a strong, definitely a full flavor cigar, full body cigar as well. So flavorful. It's like this would be you know what? Thinking about this now, this is probably a great cold weather cigar. So I've been having this internal debate of cold weather cigars versus warm weather cigars. Um, for me, since the cigar is so flavorful and like a little warming to a sense, to an extent, I think it's definitely a colder weather cigar where you can really get into it in colder weather. Still has an ash. Look at that. Really nice construction. So yeah, I mentioned earlier, this cigar was really hyped up by some. I know Cigar Aficionado ranked it, and take it for what it's worth. But also, it did end up on some other top lists as well. This is a good one. Uh, I know Rocky Patel kind of, the brand kind of gets people take shots at the brand because it's so they pay for a lot of the advertisements in Cigar Aficionado and whatnot. Um, but Rocky Patel's been in the game for a long time. He knows what he's doing. I think he might have hit the mark here with this cigar. Oh, it's about to ash. I literally caught it right before it was about to ash. Oh, and there it goes. I hate it when that happens. I couldn't get it to the ashtray in time. That's all right. And here's a common problem I have. So I don't know if you guys are like me. I know a lot of people smoke cigars a lot slower. I think I'm smoking this one fast, probably because I am filming it and I feel a little more pressure than I'm used to. But that cone right there, that means I'm smoking the cigar a little too fast. So I'm going to slow my roll, try to enjoy a little more because I got through that first third really quick. Um, Maybe it's just how I enjoy cigars, but I know you're supposed to smoke it slowly, let the flavors develop. I'm still getting all those flavors, even though I smoked it rather quickly. But yeah, that cone tells you everything you need to know. Smoking it way too fast, and that's on me. So I'm well into the second third here. The flavor of the cigar has remained consistent. Not a lot of transitions. I would say it's a fairly consistent cigar in terms of flavor. But in an effort to help me slow down my smoking, because I know I have a tendency to smoke too quickly, I'm going to talk a little bit about Operation My Own Blend. Um, so Operation My Own Blend is a series. It's a project I've been working on. Operation MOB, being in the Coast Guard, I had to add a military flair, so that's why it's called Operation MOB. I started the Operation MOB probably about 2 months ago. I started working with Ultimo Cigars out in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Tomas, to get my own blend. I wanted to take my cigar game to the next level, just for me. I'm not selling these cigars. These cigars are for me to give out to my friends, and just to see, what what is blending a cigar all about? What's that experience like? So Tomas I've submitted a flavor profile. I submitted my favorite cigars, and Tomas sent me prototypes of those cigars, and then finally the final products of those cigars. And I got those cigars, so I'm very excited. Crazy Gringo Cigars, the first cigar, my own blend. I'm very proud of the name of it. It's called the Homage. We're gonna launch it on Sunday, June 9th at 6:30 p.m. with Hugo from Hugo Smokes, Roger from Working Man Cigars, and Sean from Smoking Sounds Pod. Three of my closest friends that I've made through the cigar community. And I think I'd be remiss if I didn't say how great the cigar community has been, whether sharing exchanges on Instagram. That's where we usually chat, making friends. The community, it's not about a competition. It's about sharing different experiences, asking, hey, what do you think about this cigar? Hell, Sean from Smoking Sounds Pod and I, we talk about the Yankees. We talk about baseball most of the time in our chats. And every once in a while, we'll throw in something. Hey, did you try that cigar? Hey, that looked really good. Wow, that looked like an amazing cigar. So it's been I've made some really cool friends. Really excited to launch the cigar with them. I sent them the copy. I sent them both versions of the cigar. So I have a Connecticut and a Sumatra. We're going to smoke it live. It's a launch event. I don't know how they're going to think about it. I have smoked both of those cigars. I have a personal favorite. I think one needs a little more aging than the other, and we'll get into that on the live tomorrow. So today's Saturday, tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. So come join us if you're not doing anything. I know it's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. Early Father's Day to all the fathers out there. But come join us, and it's going to be a fun event. Also got a huge giveaway going. It's about 20 cigars. After this, I got to go inside and put together the raffle wheel. But I'm really excited for it. So yeah, Crazy Gringo Cigars, the Homage, a little plug for it. Join us on the live if you can't catch it later. It's going to be up on YouTube. So really excited for it. Yeah. So for those new cigars smokers out there that are watching, this band, so the other bands came off really easily. The final band's a little tough, and I've screwed myself before where I've taken it off too early and ripped off the wrapper. I think anyone who smoked a cigar has had that experience. So I'm not going to do that this time. I don't want to ruin the cigar. I don't want it to rip. But let's see what type of give we have there. A lot of some give, and as you can actually see the cigar expanding on the smoke side. So I'm not going to take it off early. Don't do it. You resist the urge. I know some people like smoking their cigars without the bands on. I personally like the band. You know, I like the feel in my hand of the band. But some people don't like the bands on, and that's completely fine. But if there's one piece of advice I can give, don't rip the band off too early. You can ruin the wrapper. Really wait for that smoke. Really wait for that burn line to get down so it heats up the glue, and then it can come right off. So just a little recommendation right there. All right, so I'm getting into the end of the second third here. Still trying to slow down my smoking. The chocolate flavor has kind of transitioned into a coffee flavor, a toasted coffee. Now, one thing that's interesting about me is I don't drink coffee. So I always tell this story. When I was first started getting into cigars and trying to pick out the different flavors, I was always getting this certain flavor. I'm like, what is that flavor? And I'm like, wait a minute, that's probably coffee. But because I'm not a coffee drinker, I've only had like Cafe Patron or coffee flavored drinks, but never. I'm not a coffee drinker. My wife says that I'm a high energy individual to begin with, so I don't need coffee in my life. But the chocolate flavor to me is starting to transition into a coffee flavor here in the end of the second third. Not a lot, not a lot of complaints from me on this cigar. This could be one of my. I really enjoy this cigar. I'm really enjoying the flavor of the cigar. It might be up there for me. When I restart the Crazy Gringo Cigar Club, I think this is going to be one of the ones that I include. All right, so we're back here, getting into that final third here already. Like I said, I'm really enjoying this cigar. I'm trying to find my way here and how I want to do this type of format in terms of the video and whatnot. So bear with me, please. Yeah, I'm in the final third, really enjoying the cigar. The burn line could be better. I'm not gonna lie. It's not the worst burn line, but you know, it leaves a little to be desired. But the construction has been flawless, in my opinion. Construction in terms of the ash has been flawless, not in terms of the burn line, which I've had some issues with. Only required one touch-up. I don't foresee it needing any more touch-ups, but now that I said it, it might happen. So I'll check back in as I get closer to the end of the cigar. All right, so I'm well in the final third here. The burn line, like I said, it's still wonky. That's okay. The ash is also starting to curve a little bit. That's okay. One thing I've noticed about my cigar smoking is I tend to smoke the first third really quick, and then for me, the smoking slows down progressively in the second, the final third. I don't know if that's similar for other people as well. Something I've noticed about myself and how I smoke cigars. And everyone smokes cigars differently. I know a cigar like this, my buddy Hugo, he can probably smoke the cigar for an hour and a half, where I'm probably going to be more in like the 45 minutes to an hour range. I have to personally, I know this about myself, I have to learn to slow down and enjoy a cigar. But for me, the cigar, I naturally slow down as it gets towards the end of the cigar. Yep, so that's what I'm talking about right there. Let's see if that focuses. There we go. Yep, right there. Let's see if the band is ready to come off. Yep, so as you can see for all new cigar, peeled right off. So now it's just bare cigar. All right, so band is off in the final third here. I'll check in with my final thoughts. All right. So I'm approaching the end of the cigar. Probably got a few minutes left for me. So I'm going to do a final recap. Just a recap. I smoked a cigar about a year and a half, 2 years ago. Wasn't that impressed. I said to myself, it probably needs some age. I had two of these cigars. Actually, I think originally I got the cigar, had it, didn't enjoy it. Saw it again. I think I ordered it by accident, and I'm like, oh, I have another one. Well, let me let this one age. So that's exactly what I did here. And I think this is definitely a cigar. Now, I think it comes 2 years aged already, if I'm not mistaken. Please fact check me on that one. But letting it rest, letting it age a little bit in my humidor has done it wonders. I think flavor-wise, it's one of my favorite cigars. I do stand by what I said, that I think it's more of a cold weather cigar. I could see in the cold weather you could really enjoy it. And I think I'm starting to realize that with the darker wrappers. Maybe not so much the Maduro, but definitely the Mexican San Andreas. Definitely more of a colder weather cigar just because of that warmth that it gives you. And when it's hot outside, you don't really need that cigar to provide that extra warmth for you. So like I said, throughout, had some burn line issues. Construction, though, has been great in terms of the ash, in terms of the layering. So really nice, really well-constructed cigar. I'm impressed. I'm happy I've revisited a cigar. The coffee flavor has kind of died away, but throughout the final third, I've been getting more of a toasted coffee flavor, and it's also coming off in the smoke as well. But it's definitely a coffee flavor cigar. Chocolate to coffee for me. Some people might think it's coffee throughout. One of the things I appreciate about this cigar is that it's been consistent throughout in terms of the flavor, in terms of the body. It's been the same cigar throughout. So not a lot of transitions in my opinion, but that's okay with me because it's a good cigar. But guys, that's really all I have for today. Thanks for joining. I hope you like this format. Stay tuned for more episodes. I got some, or more versions, more episodes. I have some ideas in mind. I think one of my next ideas is I have a Byron Cuban cigar and then a Byron cigar sent to me from Hugo Smokes. I'm going to compare those two cigars. So I think that video is going to be coming out. I'm not sure when, based on my crazy schedule, but I think that's going to be in the next episode. Thanks for joining. Once again, John from Crazy Gringo Cigars. Subscribe, follow me on Instagram, reach out to me. Let's share ideas, let's share thoughts on cigars. I'm all for that. That's what the cigar community is about, sharing. So I hope everyone has a great rest of your day, and take care. All right, so I know I just signed off and did my final thoughts, but I got some things already I'm thinking that I got to go back and correct. So this cigar was a Maduro. It's a Mexican San Andreas Maduro. Maduro is the color of the wrapper. I've had other Maduros that have been a lot sweeter, and I don't associate that with warm weather cigars, but this is a Maduro cigar, just a little more, I think, a cold weather Maduro cigar, for my opinion. The other thing I wanted to point out, too, this is a 6x60 cigar, and it's box pressed. Now, I had a 6x60 yesterday that was not box pressed, and that felt a lot bigger in the hand. And I actually used the V-cut on that one for the first time, and I really enjoyed the V-cut. But this, in the hand, it doesn't hold like a normal 6x60. I think it feels a little smaller than that. So I just wanted to clear some things up there. Take care, everyone. Thanks for listening.